Welcome back to the channel, family. I hope everyone had a wonderful long weekend. You know we did. Just relaxing at the beach, always. Now, today's headline, it looks like it's going to be throughout the whole week, that the Democratic Party, the liberals, are having identity crisis. Now, come on now. We all know that they was having an identity crisis for God knows how long, maybe 2016, with all this nonsense of girl power. Men can be women, men can have babies. What is a woman? They wanted to take mother, mom out of vocabularies and just everyday living. They wanted to take everything that has man out, like mankind and things in that nature, and just replace the humankind. And then the biggest one was toxic masculinity. Ain't no such thing as toxic masculinity. If anything, if masculinity is quote unquote toxic, that is a good thing. So they are having an identity crisis. Oh, we need to cater more to men. Hey, listen, it is too late. That ship has already sailed. That's it. We will never come back. We're never coming back. That party exposed themselves, and we will never forgive you for that. So, let's get it. Here's the news.
Be any fireworks. And here we
Meanwhile, the Democratic Party, they're looking to rebuild and they need to recapture men. So they have decided this program by the name, code name SAM. Democrats are planning to come up with a 20 million plan to talk to men. Now, I think $20 million, you can just, cut that by 90% and just buy us beer or some tequila, and we can talk about issues, but they feel like they need to do some real hard research on this guy.
They're going to set $20 million on fire with a bunch of pollsters and consultants to try to figure out how they have completely lost touch with half the country, right? Especially younger men. This is a party that has feminized its messaging, its priorities for years. I'm not using that as a derogatory term. They've just made a choice to feminize the approach of what they do as a political party. It worked well for them for a while. Now they might be realizing, we've gone too far. How do we course correct? And I would suggest that there's a long journey back to relevance for them among young men and men generally. If you consider that their solutions to this are people like Tim Walz and David Hogg, and the party of women, they treat it like this puzzler of a trick question when you ask them to talk about what a woman actually is. They have gone deep down the rabbit hole on gender politics, and I'm not sure a $20 million research project is going to pull them back from that abyss.
Yeah, they know how to set cash on fire, that's for sure. We saw that with the Kamala Harris campaign as well. They had all the money, and it just did not work because they don't know how to connect with the people. It's not a money thing, it's a connection thing. Guy, great analysis. Thanks for joining the program this morning.
Good to see you, Lawrence.
The Democratic Party's $20 million outreach initiative, codenamed SAM, aims at engaging men and young men, risking failure because it fundamentally misunderstood the culture and ideological shift among the demographic. Many young men today feel alienated by identity-focused politics and receive the party's message of misinformation, dismissive in their concerns, particularly around issues like economic opportunities, free speech, and mental health. If Sam nearly repackaged existing Democratic talking points without addressing the unique struggles and values of these men, it will likely be viewed as misauthentic and manipulative, more of the political ploy than a genuine effort to connect. Moreover, the party focuses an uphill battle against the rise of alternative influencer, podcasters, YouTubers, and online personalities who have built the trust with the young man and his audience by offering straightforward and just real perspective. These figures often speak to frustrating and with modern institutions, including mainstream media and the establishment politics, in a way that resonate deeply. Unless Sam embraced a radically different tone, one that listened more than lectured, the initiative could backfire in forcing the very alienation it's meant to address.
All politically motivated, and we do have to get to the bottom of it. Meanwhile, Democrats of every stripe are doing what they can to try to figure out how they have managed to lose power, every lever of power in Washington, including Rahm Emanuel, former White House chief of staff and former mayor of Chicago. The Wall Street Journal writing, Rahm Emanuel, never humble about his political skills, is trying to accomplish something that seems far-fetched even for him. Pushes Democrat Party, rooted in the identity politics of the left, to the center. The former congressman, former White House chief of staff, Chicago mayor, and diplomat is direct about what he thinks Democrats need to do to win national elections again. He calls the party's brand toxic and weak and woke, a nod to culture war issues he thinks Democrats have become too fixated on that President Trump has successfully used against them. The thing that's so funny about this is, I'm sorry, who's been in charge of the Democrat Party for the past 20 years? Oh, Rahm Emanuel.
Yeah, I think it's because he might want to run for president or governor of Illinois if Governor Pritzker decides to run for president. So he's talking to the press, he's talking to the Wall Street Journal. He also said this: if you want the country to give you the keys to the car, somebody's got to be articulating an agenda that's fighting for America, not just fighting Trump. The American dream has become unaffordable. It's inaccessible, and that has to be unacceptable to us. The public's not wrong. They figured it out. The system's rigged. It's corrupt.
So they don't stand for anything. I was looking at the New York Times over the weekend, going through some of the reports of exactly how Trump won. It talks about some of the gains that he got. Over 1,400 counties he gained in 2016, 2020, and 2024. The Democrats only gained 57 counties across the board. It talks about how they are shrinking when it comes to the working class. A lot of the people that the Democrats are getting are in the wealthier communities. The Trump folks are getting the people that are in the median income or making less than $100,000 a year. You look at the majority of black voters as well. You got black majority counties. The GOP got 58 of those counties. You got the Hispanics majority counties. They got 66 out of 67. So when you're looking at the makeup, you got young voters, working class, and you got minority voters. These were people that the Democrats once had, but the president, when he goes to the barbershop, when he goes to these games, when he's going to the NASCAR, that there's an impact there.
Driving the garage,
driving
the trash truck.
That's right.
Serving
Going to
food at McDonald's. Right. He resonated with the people. And the Hispanic community, when Hillary Clinton was running, she got 70% of Hispanic votes. Kamala Harris only got 54%.
Yeah, and Democrats, Wall Street backs Democrats now because of all those things you just mentioned. Trump has really dragged the Republican Party to the, turn it into a working class party.
And they focus so much on identity politics and culture war issues.
Everybody is tired
Exactly.
of. They're finished with that. But one important news flash: Rahm Emanuel will never be president. He may be governor of Illinois, but he will never be president.
Why do you say that?
That's true.
I don't think he's a deep blue state fighter. Mm-hmm. The greatest description I've ever heard: presidents always have the sun shining on their faces. If you look at somebody who wants to be president, does it look like, are they happy optimists? Mm-hmm. Do they have sun shining on their face? And you would never say that about Rahm Emanuel. Trump?
Okay, the Democratic Party, the liberals, they betrayed America, especially men. We will never forgive you. we will always remember what you have done, what you attempted to do, and to force feed us with this ideology of transgenderism. We don't have no problem with that, but you can't force feed us that. You violated us, our families, and our kids. Attempting to transition our kids without our consent. We will never forgive you for that. We will never forgive you about this identity politics, women power. Women don't need men like fish need a bicycle. We remember that. Toxic masculinity, this vulgar and vile type of thinking and destroying our lovely women. We would never forget that. That whole party need a revamp. Not even rehabilitation can save you guys. There's no reform for that party. It needs to be eradicated and just start all over. There need to be a new party because that party went haywire and cuckoo. They went ballistic as if their feces doesn't stink. We will never forget you guys. Never. We will always remember what you guys almost catastrophically destroyed America and the nuclear family. We will never forget that. So we will remember. We got all the videos that we will remember our poor little women. We love our women, but you just destroyed them. We will never forget you.
Looks like the Democrats have a problem with men, and they're going to invest $20 million.
They have a problem with everyone. They didn't do as well with black men in the last election. They didn't do as well with Latinos. Everyone is going crazy on the Democratic side, trying to figure out, oh my gosh, what do we do next? We don't know what to do. Our messaging needs to change. You have Rahm Emanuel saying we're too woke. Yeah, I think he might want to run for president, or either the governor wants to run for governor. So they're trying to figure out their messaging problem. Apparently, they're spending $20 million so that they can woo the young male voters. And they call it SAM. And this is what the New York Times says. The prospectus for one new $20 million effort obtained by the Times aims to reverse the erosion of Democratic support among young men, especially online. It is codenamed SAM, short for Speaking with American Men. A strategic plan and promises investment to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virally in these spaces. It recommends buying advertisements in video games, among other things. Above all, we must shift from a moralizing tone, it urges.
Their problem is not grammar. That's not why they're losing men. The reason they're losing men is because they seem to not like our country, which is a real problem, but also just their policies. Their policies are terrible. And if you look back at, I always believe that 2016 was the most issue-oriented election that we've ever been through. 2024 was the only one that was more issue-oriented.
Well, they have two problems. They're fake. They're not authentic at all. They're always trying to manufacture something to be something that they're not. And the other thing, they talk to us in a way that is kind of dehumanizing. I think a turning point for the Democrats when you saw President Obama try to chastise black men and say that you have to vote for Kamala Harris. Meanwhile, our kids aren't getting a quality education. We're living paycheck to paycheck, and you still want us to vote for them. And then you have Tim Walz, who couldn't shoot the gun, but he was going to go on the hunting trail as well. Couldn't load it, couldn't shoot it. And then you had this moment with him and AOC when they were playing Madden, and then he said, "We're doing exactly." He called it a pick six. Watch.
You're a pro, though, so you can call these audibles.
Well, I think I know what these guys are doing, but I don't know which damn button to push to make my guy be a beast. That's what I need. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, nice catch.
Just a couple of yards here.
How'd you do that? He kept his feet in play.
I spent a solid 2 days in the tutorials here, so... I was doing drills.
It's painful to watch.
So she doesn't play.
No, exactly. It would be really cool if both of them were really good and and they wanted to attract that voter, then maybe those voters would say they're really two cool people that play the same game I do. But it's so obvious they don't play it and they don't know what they're doing.
And people can sense the BS.
The fraud.
They see it and they can smell it.
So, let's put that back there because I think that context is important about the pick six. This is the quote. This was on X. AOC can run a mean pick six, and I can call an audible play. And we both know that if you take the time to drop a playbook, you're gonna use
That's
it.
Tim Walz. He had to take it down because it's not accurate,
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't a pick six. A pick six is when there's an interception that happens and then you get 6 points. That clearly didn't happen the whole time. She didn't even know which button to use. He didn't know which button to use. I mean, it's just, you had a bunch of staffers running the social media.
Right.
Just be you.
Okay,
Just
well,
be
you're
you.
the perfect example because you're young and you helped Barack Obama with his campaign. And then you switched parties. You became an independent, or
But that's back when the Democrats were real.
Right.
They had young people actually running the campaign and knocking on doors and talking with voters.
Right.
Then they started hiring all these consultants to do it, and they're not connecting with the American people. There wasn't this big. Barack Obama back in the day didn't spend $20 million learning how to communicate with people.
Right.
He was out there playing basketball.
Yeah.
So love him or hate him, love or hate Donald Trump, it's the doing, it's not the lecturing to people. It's not going to consult. Barack Obama played basketball, so he did it. Donald Trump loves McDonald's. He loves going to the UFC, so he went to the game. It's not really, you don't need academics to tell you how to do this,
Right,
you know?
right.
They just lost the touch.
He was authentic.
He was authentic.
They're not.
Totally. Yeah, Donald Trump is a billionaire New York real estate magnate and appeals to people who are very different from him, but he never tries to pretend he's one of them. He just is who he is.
That's right. He doesn't shy away from being a rich guy from New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
He loves his things,
That's
but he
right.
also connects with
That's right.
everyday Americans. He loves this country. Would call people on their birthdays.
That's right.
The little boy who loved America, he would call him and go spend time with him backstage. He just and the trash truck and serving McDonald's. He got it. He was able to do it. All right, let's hand it.
Young men bombarded by video clips of politicians trying to relate with phrases like vibing with democracy. What a joke. And gaslighting gatekeep government responding with mix of confusion and means warfare. Sam quickly became a less of a strategic campaign, more of a cautionary tales. Prove that you can't buy street cred. Not even with monopoly money. That's what they're trying to do, buy street cred with monopoly money. Street cred with budget spreadsheets and PowerPoint slides. In the end, $20 million was spent. 0 vibes were achieved. They could have gave me that money. I would have gave them a thought or two. And American men went back to listening to podcasters with microphones, beards, and no filter. Take that with a grain of salt. You should have gave me that money. I would have did a way better job than that.